Bekay. Say Bekay.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Bekay. Brooklyn's in the building. Right now I'm chopping it up with my dude, DJ Modesty, at the Real Hip Hop Show. Remember that real, because we keep it real here. Real Hip Hop 24/7. Brooklyn to France, France to Brooklyn, all over the map and back, you know what I mean?
Yo, can we get the BK story? How and when did you start in hip hop?
Hip hop, to me, is not just about rap music. So I started when I came out the womb. I came out my mom's puss and I was like with a mic in my hand and I was like da 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 da. So that's when it started for me. Nah, but it's a culture of all types of things. So that lifestyle's been in me my whole life. And as an MC, I always did this. You know, I was a little kid. I had recordings of me when I was 12 years old, spitting into a tape recorder, just with beats in the background. You know what I mean? So it was always in me. But when I got a little older and I heard people like Wu-Tang and Biggie and Pun, you know, they're not the guys who got me started to listen to the music, but they kind of made me want to step my game up and you know, take it to the next level as an MC, as opposed to just being like a hobby or freestyling and stuff. So I would think, you know, around the time I was probably 17 or 16, I started getting a lot more serious about it. In high school, I started to hear Biggie, Big L, Pun, definitely Big L, big up to Big L, one of the greatest ever. And it was an influence on me to want to like step my game up and like really be an artist, as opposed to just, you know, every other dude I know could spit a rap or a freestyle, which is cool, but that definitely influenced me, those dudes, to want to step it up and be more serious about it.
You started to spit some rhymes very young. What were your influences back in the day?
I gotta say Beastie Boys all the way, yo. When I was a young dude, they went to school a couple of blocks away from my house, so it was like a huge thing, you know what I mean, for me. I would dig through my older brother's tapes, and I seen Beastie Boy tapes, you know, and I listened, and License to Ill was crazy. First Run DMC album, crazy. And those are the things that made me just really, you know, start feeling hip-hop on a big level like that. As I got older, you know, there were other MCs who took it to the next level, and they made me want to step my game up personally as an MC. But I was definitely influenced, you know, by the culture, by like the Beasties, Run DMC, you know, when I was a little kid.
A lot of young cats know you with your new joints, but you've been in the industry a long time. Can you talk about your experience and past releases?
Yo, in about 2003, I was so serious about this as a kid, man, I just had to put something out myself. And I sat down, I learned how to use the Pro Tools, I put the pen to the pad, and I created a song called Hungry, Broken, Determined, which was my first LP. And that's exactly how I felt at the time. And basically from that point, it started a spiral effect of me just being caught up in this life and wanting to keep going and going and going. So people started to know me a little more, but like you said, that was at a younger age, so it might not reach as many people. After that, we started dropping 12 inches, and my first one was with Coleman Records, featuring Inspector Deck in Saigon. That was called The Raw. It did amazing on college radio, excellent record. And followed by some other 12 inches, one of them being Where Brooklyn At, featuring ODB, rest in peace, Russell Jones, my dude, produced by Common Productions. And after that, I was lucky enough to be a member of the Raucous 50, and a lot of dudes might know me starting from there. But like you said, there's a lot of ish that came before that, and it's important to me because this has been a dream to me since I was a little kid, you know?
Yo, you mentioned a little bit about the track you did with Wu-Tang ODB, Where Brooklyn At, one of his last release. What do you remember about that great experience?
ODB, rest in peace, my dude. Where Brooklyn At, produced by Common Records.
Cause this is Joe Dirt McGurk, and the BK.
I remember the whole day, man. It was a crazy day. I was with my man Sean, my man Whitey. Big up my man Sean, White rap for my dude.
Yeah, let him know.
He introduced me to Dirty a long time ago, and friendship just, you know, evolved from that. They would take me to their shows and whatnot, and you know, it was crazy to be just backstage with Dirty at all the shows and whatnot, and you know, he was a real unique dude, man, very different. I definitely learned a lot just from being like around him, you know what I'm saying? And the day we did the record, you know what I'm saying, I remember like it was yesterday. We got in the whip, I actually picked him up at his house, which I was familiar with. Like I said, we used to chill. And you know, we just ran over to the studio in East New York, banged it out. He was a fucking professional, banged it out, one shot, very easy to him, very natural, you know what I mean? A lot of people think that Dirty might be like sloppy or crazy or whatever, but he went in the booth, he did it, boom, boom, 1, 2, 3, exactly how we wanted it to sound. And you know what I'm saying, the verses were down already, and it was a great day, you know what I mean? And we bugged out afterwards, you know what I'm saying? We were in the whip bugging out, people running over, oh, deep in, yo, doing something with the white boys, you know? It was just a funny experience, and the dude was a great dude, man. Basically just tried to take me under his wing while he was here, and I thank him for that, you know?
Yo, you signed some years ago with the New York City label Coleman Records, a label who works a lot to promote real hip-hop music. Could you talk more about this great label?
Yeah, I mean, Coleman Records was founded by my man DJ Dutchmaster. A lot of people in the business know him as Matt Diamond. And he's my DJ and all my cuts. So besides dude being a sick DJ, he's got the business sense. And he basically started from the ground up creating something that's, I would say, rare nowadays. You know what I'm saying? A grassroots approach to real hip-hop music and built something from nothing and brought it to a real serious point where it's respected and has to be looked at now in the game. And I'm proud to be a part of it from day one. And just the shit has been crazy. The progression has just been so steady and progressive. You know what I'm saying? That like I said, motherfuckers have to recognize the shit is just there on par with everybody.
Alright, over the years, Coal Mine Records has kept their music pretty much, you know, similar as far as it being real hip-hop, even though the industry as a whole, the styles have changed, you know, over the years from crunk and all the variations of what's considered commercial. It seems like your brand of hip-hop has stayed true to the core over the years. Can you just say a little something about, you know, your choice to continue to put out quote-unquote real hip-hop music?
Yeah, I think that, a lot of people around nowadays, what's happened to this music, it's become so profitable and marketable that, things change once money gets involved on a big level like that. And so, naturally, it's been a little watered down, and there's a lot of different styles of it, which is cool. I'm not necessarily, hating on none of that, but to me, the way I got into it and the way I heard it when I heard it is what I like to duplicate, in my own way, that is. And so that real hip-hop sound is something I hold true to myself, and I think there's a lot of people out there who want to hear that and want to be brought back to that era. And I do myself. So the music that I create and what I do, it should be a reflection of what made me want to do this to begin with. And that's exactly why I stay here, and that's what Coal Mine Records does, and that's what I do, and we keep it real hip-hop from the grassroots, from the ground up. And I think it's important, because people need to remember why we started doing this shit to begin with.
So it seems that DJs worldwide are, they play your records, they're feeling your music, your brand, your style of hip-hop. What can you say about how that's made you feel and the impact that you've had on the game?
Well, I think it's a great look, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've always said that, just like the commercial aspect of the game comes into play, and a lot of things tend to get watered down. A lot of these DJs at these big stations, they have to play certain stuff. And I think when that DJ has an opportunity to play whatever he wants, and those real DJs like Modesty, like the Real Hip Hop Show, and like a lot of these dudes who are overseas that you find nowadays, they have the opportunity to dig for real music and pick and choose what they want to play. So being that they would choose to play my records, you know what I'm saying, that's a big look, and I really appreciate it. And I also feel that the responsibility of keeping a part of this culture alive does rely on those DJs, you know what I'm saying? So I got nothing but the utmost respect for those people who are still digging for that real music. And so if you're playing my records, you know what I'm saying, you're doing your job right, you know what I mean? And I appreciate it because it's broadened my audience and it's brought me to a level I would never be able to get without those DJs. Motherfuckers forget that they ain't hip-hop without DJs, you know what I'm saying? And there is a responsibility on those DJs to do the right thing, I think, you know what I'm saying? So if you're a hip-hop DJ, you know what I'm saying, you should be digging for that music. Modesty and these cats, they're doing the right thing. That's why I got nothing but love for Modesty and the Real Hip Hop Show.
After being, on many records, being on other people's records, features, mixtapes, etc., and building a catalog, we're now getting to the date November 10th, which is when you drop Hunger Pains. Just can you tell us more about the album, features, producers, that sort of thing?
Alright, that's what's up. Hunger Pains is dropping November 10th. I'm real excited to get my chance to do my thing, on my own and let people into my world. Not that I haven't had that opportunity before, but this is definitely the best piece of work that represents Bekay, represents Coal Mine, represents what I'm trying to do, represents the brand of music that I bring to the table. My man Dutchmaster basically, coached me through the whole thing, and we sculpted something that's amazing together, you know what I'm saying? And people who love that sound that I've been talking about through this interview, that's what you're going to love, and there's no denying that. And if you miss that old sound and with that feel-good hip-hop from whatever it might be, people want to call it 90s hip-hop, people want to call it the beginning, I don't know what you want to call it. I call it real hip-hop music that made me love this culture. And I'm missing myself as a fan, you know what I'm saying? So November 10th is your chance to get some of that back. And I believe on every record, a real MC, or not even a rapper, a real artist, should give a piece of who they are, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes, they talk about things that might sound cool and might be appealing to people listening, but it ain't reality. And what attracts me to an artist, what makes me want to hear somebody, is something I can relate to, and something particular about that person. And you definitely get a dose of who Bekay is as a person on the album, as well as that real hip-hop music that I think, we're lacking nowadays. So November 10th, you gotta go cop that.